Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the present tense for regular verbs. We're going to take the example of pαυω, or let me write that here. We're going to be taking the example of pαυω, which means I stop. So that's where the word pause derives from. Okay, so the present tense, right. So for pαυω, the stem is pαυ, okay, pαυ, and let me just do 6 of these. Pαυ, 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 and pαυ. So this, my friends, is called the stem. This is the stem, and you may have heard of that before. And what goes on the stem are the endings. So the endings for the present tense for regular verbs are as follows. For active endings, I mean. Or, so omega, a's, so epsilon, iota, sigma, a, omen, ete, usi. Okay, so let me just go through all of that again. So pαυω, pαυes, pαυe, pαυomen, pαυete, pαυusi. So you've got your stem here, the pαυ, and here you've got your endings. And I'm just going to give a bit of clarity about these endings. So you may have heard of first person, second person, third person. That's the same in Greek. So this is first person, this is second person, this is third person, and then it repeats. This is first person, this is second person, this is third person. Of course, these are all singular, and these are plural. Okay, so now we've done that, I want to just talk about this here. So this is called a movable nu. And basically the movable nu is used before another word that starts with a vowel or at the end of a sentence. So I'll just write that here. Before a vowel or at the end of a line, at the end of the sentence. So that means that pαυusi exists in two forms. It can be just pαυusi, or it can be pαυsin. Okay, so now I'm going to introduce you guys to a few common verbs. So some common verbs are pαυω, which I've already talked about, which means I pause or I cease. Sorry, I stop. What am I saying? I stop. Then grapho, from which the word graphite derives, and it means I write. Then we have didasco, Didasko, which means I teach. And finally, dioko, which means I chase. And the same rules apply here. So the same rules apply here as ever. For example, with dioko, the dioke part is the stem, and then the all is like, well, that's the first person singular ending. So that's where you put your endings. You put the endings onto the stem. Okay, so with that in mind, let's try some examples. So, the first example is we lead, the second is they write, the third is she teaches, and the last one is you singular chase. So now pause the video, have a go at them, and we'll do them together after you're finished. Okay, so we lead. I lead is ago, as we've already discussed. So we lead is just going to be the stem, which is going to be ag. Okay. Plus the ending. So the we ending is omen. So we lead is agomen. Next is they write. The stem for write is graph. So we know that the beginning is going to be graph. And then the ending for they is just usi. So it's going to be graph usi. Obviously we don't know whether it's at the start of at the end of a line. So we'll just put the movable new in brackets. She teaches is just going to be didaske. Because it goes O A's A. And finally, you singular chase is going to be dio K's. Sorry, I don't think I mentioned, but first person singular is I, second person singular is you, third person singular is he, she, or it. First person plural is we, second person plural is also you, and finally third person plural is they.